Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our online writing class. Today, we will get to know a popular type in IELTS Writing Task 1, which is static charts. In this video, we will go through the second part of the lesson, which is analyzing sample static chart report. At the end of this video, you will be able to analyze sample static charts, discuss the outline of the sample static charts, and finally, discuss the application of useful language in a sample chart report. There will be three main parts in this video. You will analyze the static chart, discuss a sample outline, and then a sample report. To better understand the charts, address the following questions based on the given charts here. The charts show how people of different age groups access the news in 26 countries in Europe, Asia, and North America. Pause after each question to note down your answer. Cool. Let's start with the first question. What basic information do the pie charts provide? As you can see from the charts and the question prompt, they show how people from different age groups access the news in Europe, Asia, and North America. More specifically, the graphs illustrate the main sources of news for two different age groups: young adults aged 16 to 24 and people over 55 in 26 nations in Europe, Asia, and North America. As for question number 2, the time cannot be seen, therefore, we will use the present tense for the charts. In the pie charts, you can see many different percentages. Therefore, the unit of measurement is percentage. Let's discuss the highest and lowest percentages in the two pie charts. Regarding the highest percentages, that's online news for people aged from 16 to 24 at 64% and TV for people above 55 years old at 55%. Interestingly, the number of people using the radio to update news is the least popular for both groups, which are 5% for people from 16 to 24 years old and 8% for people 55 years old and above. It's important to identify the similarities and differences between the two categories. Here in the pie charts, the similarity is that radio is the least popular media outlet among the two groups. And the difference is that the majority of younger people get their news online, while the older generation prefers television as their primary source. The last question is, how do you organize the body paragraphs? There are many ways for you to organize your body paragraphs. Here's how you can organize the ideas. In the first way, you can describe the first pie chart about people aged 16-24 in Body 1, and the second pie chart about people aged above 55 in Body 2. Another way is to group the similar or opposite categories in Body 1 and the remaining parts in Body 2. In this video, I would choose the second method. For Body 1, you will compare the use of TV and online sources for accessing news between the two groups because they are the most and second most popular sources in the two groups. In Body 2, you can mention the remaining items, which are radio and print. Let's move on to the outline of the static charts. So please, remember to always write an outline before you start writing an IELTS Task 1 report. Do you remember how many paragraphs we have in a Writing Task 1 report? That's right. The answer is 4. We have 1 introduction, 1 overview, and 2 body sections. Here's a suggested outline based on what we analyzed in the previous section. Now, take the following quiz to complete the outline. Well done! Now you can pause the video for some minutes to read the complete outline for the sample static charts more carefully. It's time to discuss a sample report. Let's start with the introduction. Here we have the structure that we have already learned from part 1 of the video and the important information to write the introduction. For the type of chart, don't forget to mention that they are pie charts. I will use the word compare as a verb. For the noun phrase, I will use the phrase the various plus noun or noun phrase. There's no time shown in the graph, so I will skip mentioning the time. And here's the introduction. The pie charts compare the various methods of accessing news among young adults aged 16 to 24 and people over 55 in 26 nations across Europe, Asia, and North America. Next up, let's write the overview. Remember that we should not write in too much detail in this section. Instead, just spot about 1 to 2 features that stand out. In this topic, I will pick the 2 main points. Based on the given structures, so let's write an overview. In this report, I want to use 2 structures at the same time which are highlighted on the slide. I will start with the word overall. Then I will use the first structure, so I'll have there is a significant difference in how the 2 age groups access news. I don't use it as noticeable, or evident that, or as can be seen from the graph, because I have used the word overall at the beginning of the overview. Next, I will use the structure with while to have this sentence. The majority of younger people get their news online, while the older generation prefers television as their primary source. That's how I write my overview. Turning to the body paragraphs, you can pause the video and review the outline and the structure of body paragraph 1 here. Make sure you use the language for describing a static chart such as language of approximation, fraction or percentage, verbs to describe percentages or fractions, comparison and complex sentences for comparison. Do the same for body 2 of the body section. And finally, we will write body paragraphs. Read the incomplete paragraphs, look at the charts, and think of the words to fill in the gaps. And here is the sample report. Please stop the video and read the sample report to see how the sentence structures we learned from part 1 video. The information we just analyzed and the outline were applied in writing a full report for static charts. So, this is the end of the lesson today. Thank you for your participation and attention. Keep up the good work and continue practicing. Goodbye and see you in the next lesson.